we built this machine probably 15 or 20 years ago when we were having some issues with some differentials. People were saying they were noisy, and we needed a way to check it out to see if it was actually noisy or not. So the only way we could do that is run it at speed. What we normally do, we'll run the dip at about 2,000 RPM. That's what this little box is here, that's like a speed controller. And we can run it either forward or reverse. So initially what it was, if somebody had a noisy dip and they would say, well, we would ask them, well, where's it making noise? Is it making on the coast, on the drive side, what RPM? We could actually put it in here and actually measure the amount of noise it was making with a decimal meter. And by using that over time, we've kind of figured out what's acceptable and what is not acceptable in the amount of decibels that we're actually measuring right off the top of the dip. So anyways, he's going to take this dip and set it in here. There's already oil in here, so he'll set this in there and bolt it in, and then we're going to run this thing at about 2,000 RPM. So we set this on here. This is like a little insulator. So basically we set it on here, and it listens to the inside of this dip, basically what the oil is doing, the gears are doing, the bearings are doing, and we always measure them at the same exact spot, right on the top. So when we're comparing them, you're only comparing one dip to another. I'm not trying to figure out exactly how much noise, because it would never be zero. So what we compared is anything that runs under 100 decibels is we consider to be good. This right now is running around 95 to 97 decibels. So we would consider this one to be not only good, but very good. Anything, when you get down, you know, the further you get away from 100, the better it is. If it was like 103 or something like that, that's when we draw the line. Anything over 100, you know, that's when we're going to either change the setup, change the ring and pinion, or do something different. As far as the polished and unpolished goes, the polishing is really going to take the heat out of the gear. The way the gear makes noise, the gears are lapped in from the factory, so they have a factory lap. So the faces where they touch together actually have a semi-polish. When we polish a gear, we're taking all those minute scratches out of it. So yeah, it's going to be quieter, but the biggest thing is going to run cooler, and it should last longer. So you're creating less friction. You know, as far as making noise, you may notice a very minor difference in the noise. You know, like if I took this gear out right here and then I polished it and put it back in there, you know, we may be able to measure it, but it'd be a very minute amount. The polishing helps. It doesn't, you know, it's not a, it depends on how the quality of the gear was to start with. It could help, but it's not going to cure a gear. If you have a bad gear, polishing is not going to make it better. You're just going to have a polished bad gear. But it could take a good gear and make it better.